Yo, what up, people? Welcome to another episode of I'm Chris the Don One podcast. I believe it's episode 9 or 10. I want to say it's episode 9. If it's 10, I'll just change it a little bit later. How's everyone's living? I'm living swell. Today, breaking news is, and it's sort of been breaking news since yesterday, but if you've been living under a rock, allow your boy to explain. But breaking news. This just came down the news wire. The Brooklyn Nets are allowing Kyrie Irving to play road games. Road games only. He's not going to be able to play any any road games. He can be able to play some road games. Due to the mandate that's in New York, he won't be able to play in areas such as New York, obviously, Toronto, as well as San Francisco. So if the Brooklyn Nets play the Golden State Warriors, they will not have the services of Kyrie Irving. And in other news, Kevin Durant is going to be missing probably 2 weeks due to the protocol situation that's going on right there. The Brooklyn Nets, as well as a lot of NBA teams, the struggle has been real. This pandemic has been raising havoc on a lot of NBA teams. The LA Lakers are losing players left and right because of it. The Brooklyn Nets, as well as a lot of NBA teams, but they will not be having the services of Kevin Durant. And I think that pretty much hurried this option that was available for Brooklyn, getting Kyrie Irving. It explains why Kyrie Irving was showing off his shoes on Instagram, because everyone was getting thirsty, wondering, well, why would Kyrie Irving show his shoes on social media? And I'm pretty sure the Brooklyn Nets organization was in constant communication with Kyrie Irving as far as a possibility of him returning this season. Now, I've been telling you guys, I did not see any scenario where Kyrie Irving was going to miss the whole entire season. I've been on record telling you guys that I'm sure we're going to be seeing Kyrie Irving after the All-Star break. And I said in that particular live stream my reasonings behind it. The Brooklyn Nets have been doing good. So far, so good. They've been beating the teams they're supposed to beat. However, they've been struggling with teams that if they were fully loaded, James Harden was dealing with some nagging injuries, and Kevin Durant has been putting the team on his back. And if Kevin Durant doesn't miss any time, a lot of time in the NBA calendar season, he's on pace of being of getting an MVP for the regular season. He's on pace for that. If you look at his stats, he has turned it up a lot, not only on scoring, but on assists, rebounds. His defense his defense has been getting a lot better. And he's always been a good defender. A lot of people don't, when they mention Kevin Durant, they talk about the scoring side of Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's a solid defender. And all those stats have went up. His PER has gone up. And he's one of the candidates that's as far as being MVP of the regular season, if he does not miss significant time away from the Brooklyn Nets. So they're going to utilize Kyrie Irving sometime next week, I believe. And like I said, he won't be able to play any home games due to the mandate that New York has, but he is allowed to play away games, and he won't be able to play in Toronto. He won't be able to play in San Francisco, but he will be able to travel with the team when they play away games. Now, maybe there's a possibility, a silver lining, that he will be able to play some games at home. But they unless the mandate change over there in New York, and things are subject to change. But as of right now, the Brooklyn Nets got Kyrie Irving, and they're going to need Kyrie Irving because Kevin Durant's going to be missing about 2 weeks. James Harden has been dealing with some bumps and bruises, and also dealing with the new rule change. I think having all three of those players potentially on the same court in like a month from now is now a strong likelihood and a possibility. Now, a lot of people are going to say, will this work? Kyrie Irving only playing away games, not in San Francisco and not in Toronto. Will this contribute and help with the team? I feel like short term, it will help the team, but long term, they need to find a concrete solution as far as having Kyrie Irving play road games. Because what if he has a magnificent game at home? I mean, on the road, but he can't capitalize off of it, and the team won't be able to capitalize off of it if they have a home game. And like I said, the mandate probably is going to be subject to change. Maybe New York will change their stance on it, but judging by a lot of cases have done increase. I think they're going to stick by their guns, and unfortunately, Kyrie Irving is not going to be able to play for Brooklyn anytime soon. Now, a lot of NBA insiders are saying ultimately this probably won't work, and people are basing that assumption on his unavailability when they play at home, and also Toronto and San Diego. But my thing of it is having some form of Kyrie Irving is better than having no Kyrie Irving, and it's probably going to help the team somewhat, particularly on those days when James Harden is trying to get better and dealing with the new rules and regulations of the NBA as far as the new rules on the court, and it's going to help the team. Now, so Kevin Durant's going to be gone for a couple of weeks. Kyrie Irving is going to be playing for the team, but part-time, only away games. And James Harden still dealing with a nagging injury. I still feel like the Brooklyn Nets are still going to be making some type of moves during the trade deadline, even though they're beating the teams they're supposed to beat, and they're not like the LA Lakers, who last night struggled with the Minnesota Timberwolves. This could possibly work for the Brooklyn Nets, but they're still going to need some help later on down the road during the trade deadline. Now, another thing I want to talk about before we get up out of here is I remember doing a video or a live stream talking about DOA, death of the super teams. And I feel like a lot of these teams that were created in mind to bring the three best superstars, even though a lot of these teams got instant success, it wasn't a sustainable success. And the teams I'm referring to are the Miami Heat, the Cleveland Cavaliers somewhat, well, yes. And, as far as the Brooklyn Nets, the Golden State Warriors, a lot of these teams won fast because they had the big three and then they had the others. But as the years went on, they didn't reach their potential. Let's start off with the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat won 2 titles with LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade. And that team can only win 2 titles, 2 back-to-backs, and that's pretty much it. When LeBron went and when that team got older and they didn't have enough trade assets, and they pretty much mortgaged their future to keep this team. LeBron went back to Cleveland and joined up with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, and that team won one title between those three guys. And when, like I said, when the Cleveland Cavaliers mortgaged away their future and mortgaged away a lot of their talent to get those three guys and to get those others, LeBron went to the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, also the Golden State Warriors got a lot of success. They won two titles as well, I believe it's three titles, but two titles with Kevin Durant. They went they won, they had a possibility of going back to back to back, but they lost to Toronto that had Kawhi Leonard, which, by the way, Kawhi Leonard could have stayed on his own super team with San Antonio Spurs, but that team got old, and him and Greg Popovich was at each other's throats, so he orchestrated a trade to Toronto for 1 year, only for 1 year, won a title there, and left Toronto, and Toronto hasn't been back since. The Golden State Warriors, after those two attempts with KD, they too mortgage a lot of stuff to get KD there. KD left them, went to Brooklyn, and Kevin Durant, James Harden, as well as Kyrie Irving, they mortgage and sacrifice their future, their draft picks, players, talent, to keep those three guys there. And still to this day, they haven't even won a title yet. Now, I'm going to say something that a lot of people are probably not going to say. And I feel like it's a strong possibility of it happening. And I feel like there's a strong possibility that the Brooklyn Nets is going to be one of those teams that we're going to be talking about 10, 20, 30 years from now, that we're going to say that team didn't succeed its apex. I don't think this team is going to win not a single title. Now, it's probably due to injuries, due to COVID issues with Kyrie Irving refusing to take the vaccine, missed opportunities. Last year, they could have went to the finals. They was in position of going to the finals, but instead of a 3, Kevin Durant got credited for a 2, which he had his foot on the line. But that team is going to be a bunch of what ifs. If that team, I don't feel the Brooklyn Nets is going to reach its apex. I don't think they're, and I'm not a gambling man, but if I gamble, I don't think this team is going to ever win a title. We're going to be saying the team that could have, if everything fell into their favor, that team could have been a dynasty. That team could have won multiple titles. That team was lined up to for us to say the Bulls who, the Jordan Bulls who, the Showtime Lakers with Magic and Kareem what, the Larry Bird Celtics, the Detroit Pistons with Isaiah Thomas and Bill Laimbeer. We're gonna be saying about who cared about those teams. Did you see what Brooklyn did? You see what what success Brooklyn got with those three guys? All that potential. And now I feel like if the Brooklyn Nets do not win a title this year, the struggle is going to be real for them to even win a title next year. James Harden will be out of contract. Are they going to renegotiate for James Harden? Are they going to renegotiate for Kyrie Irving? They had an offer for Kyrie Irving on the table. Kyrie Irving chose to stay home. He didn't want to take the vaccine, so they pulled that offer off the table. Now, they did sign Kevin Durant, okay? But this team, at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to win any titles. And 10, 20 years from now, we're going to be saying the team that had all this in line for them, all the potential of this team being a dynasty, and all those years, and they pretty much they pretty much lost. Well, they pretty much lost the potential of what could have been. Now, like I said, I'm not a betting man. It wouldn't surprise me if they do win a title this year, but the way how this is tracking and lining and edging up, it looks like from the outside looking in, the Brooklyn Nets are going to be the team that what could have happened. The same way like we look at the Miami Heat. Yes, people talk about them winning titles back to back to back. Winning title back to back, but a lot of people also say about that team of what ifs, okay? And